This is Bill Draves at Learn and UGotClass. Thank you so much for being on the UGotClass faculty. We're delighted to have you, your expertise, experience, and we are pleased to present some news that we presented to all our Learn partners and will be included in our directions moving forward. This is a tape recorded version, 30 minutes of the hour-long live presentation, and I'm specifically tailoring it to you as a faculty member. Thanks for listening. Let's go. Presenting the session with me was Brendan Marcello, who is overall directing our UGotClass operation. The agenda: number 1, recent improvements in our system. Part 2, new class rank service. Part 3, new courses starting in September. Part 4, new branding for UGotClass. And Part 5 was partner feedback. New class rank service and the new branding ones are of particular interest, we think, to you as faculty. We now have the partner organization's logo in their students' accounts when the student goes in. Partners are those organizations that promote your courses and also work with us to develop and plan new directions for UGotClass. Instead of emailing students their certificates, which has caused some problems both with Adobe upgrades and also with emailing attachments, we now have those certificates available in the student's account. When they complete a certificate, it's authorized as completion by our staff, and then the certificate automatically appears with the press of a button in the student's accounts. Certificates are valued by students and by their employers in the workplace, and they constitute 2/3 of UGotClass registrations. So this is an important aspect in the 21st century of upskilling and documenting those skill sets that people now have. In the coming year, we're going to upgrade our promotion pages. Each one of our partners has the ability to ask us for partner pages tailored towards their organization with their phone number, their logo, their contact information. And they also get to choose which programs, classes they get to offer and want to offer. Just for your information, we promote in pretty much 3 different ways. Partners have their own websites, and a number of them list your course and others on their own website, and then they take the registrations themselves. That is the best way so far for a partner to generate the most registrations and to get the highest percentage of income. Learn is a nonprofit, and we're devoted to the overall mission of our members in their lifelong learning and continuing education activities. And so they get from 30% to 50% of the income. The second way is that Learn creates partner web pages, and then partners tell us to take the registrations for them. And that's a second way. And then the third way is UGotClass is currently integrated into a software system for continuing education called Lumens, and we're hoping to get it into another software system. And that also makes it very easy for partners to promote your classes and get registrations. So this year, we're going to work on improving the images and wording on our promotion pages. Part two, we're moving along. This is a new service that we have created called Class Rank. Other for-profit vendors, we don't think has this service. And we had somebody create it for us, and he will get some royalties off of it. And we have higher standards than the for-profits. We have 80% pass rate, and we are told that a leading for-profit has a pass rate of only 67%, which is failure in most colleges and all colleges and universities, but not with us. And so we've tested this out with project management, and this is the top 10 students over the course of a year. We can get the data for any length of time, but we think 1 year is the best measure for a student. We don't want to wait 3 years and then tell them that they were in the top 25% when they took it 3 years ago. And we also are thinking that some fields are changing, and so that by comparing someone with another person who took the same course 5 years ago, that's not really a good comparison if the field is changing over that period of time. And so in order to complete a certificate, you do have to pass essentially 12 tests, quizzes, and then make one comment a week in your classroom discussion in order to get a certificate. And so we take from those people, we take only those who completed the full certificate. Lots of people take 1 or 2 courses, etc. And then we have a way to rank them. And we are thinking that this will be a valuable service to them and also their employees. So this is a results-oriented century, outcome-oriented, and employers have asked, how well has my students done? Do they know this stuff or not? And so this will be a great way of telling them. Now, we have what we need from a number of you is that we have set it up so that there are, as I said, 12 different quizzes, one for each of the 4 units in each of the 1-month classes. And before we created this 10 years ago, we said create as many quizzes as you want. Now we're asking you to combine, if you have more than 1 quiz for a unit, to combine them into 1 quiz. It can be as many questions as you want. So if you have 2 10-question quizzes for Unit 2, just make it 1 20-question quiz for Unit 2. This will also give us great data for you to find out which questions students pass and whether your tests are too easy or too hard. our initial reaction to the quizzes and whether they're hard enough is that they're just right. That was very interesting to look at. These are the top 10, but most people did not score anywhere near 90% overall on 12 quizzes. So we think they're pretty good, but moving forward, it'll be interesting to work with you um, to adjust if necessary, um, and you will decide. You will decide on your quiz questions just like you do now. So we're very excited about this. We think employers will want it, and obviously this is of interest to you as a UGotClass instructor. This is one thing that if you have questions, you can email me at draves@learn.org and ask more about. Part 3, new courses and certificates starting in September. Um, Most of them are being taught by existing UGotClass faculty. So I invite you to run ideas by me. We work with our top partners and they pretty much decide. So there's lots of good ideas. I know you can teach lots of interesting quality courses, but we do have to also meet a market need out there, or we're just going to waste your time in developing. But nevertheless, every 6 months, we want to bring on new courses and certificates. Our partners have said they don't want us to build hundreds of them. They want us to limit ours to quality and those that are most popular, and we have been doing that. This one is HR for non-HR managers certificate. Our forte is general management and skill sets for the workplace that apply across the board in terms of occupations, industry, and certainly geography. And so while HR is a specific field, every manager has to deal with HR nowadays, whether she or he is an HR person or not, and they're mostly not. So Sally Klaus has taught a number of courses still teaches a number of courses with us very successfully. Loopy McElroy taught with us several years ago, and she's back for this one. And Julie Coates is another authority in generations, and she is participating in teaching one of these courses. Our first leadership certificate has been very popular. It is popular with young people, Gen Y and Gen Z, which is younger than Gen Y, want to get ahead, move their careers up, and so our leadership certificate is doing very well. We're going to add this one on strategic planning in the fall, and we're welcoming Daniel Thorpe, an experienced educator who comes out of the career in the military in Canada, to teach the final 2 courses in this certificate program. He teaches them for a college in British Columbia, and we welcome him to the UGotClass faculty. And finally, as you know, artificial intelligence is hot in the business world and in the media. Everybody's wondering about it. Um, and so Betsy Flanagan, who teaches mastering Excel and computer class skills for the workplace, is going to do the first course, Introduction to AI. If it gets any traction, as we think it will, then we will be rolling that one out into a certificate as well. Again, if you have ideas or if you want to refer us to another instructor with an idea, now's the time to put those ideas into the hopper. We do need at least 6 months, not warning, but planning time, so our partners can get it into their publicity. They can't just send out an email. So in September, we'll announce any new courses that start in February of 2025. This year, we're going to work on creating courses for sustainability. Learn is a nonprofit, and we have a mission as well as um, the money side of UGotClass. And this is obviously a concern for young people who call it a climate emergency, not climate change or warming. And so we are going to look for people who can teach courses in sustainability in the workplace. You are welcome to either volunteer, of course you get paid, but or to suggest anyone you want that you think would be good. Part 4, in 2025, we are going to start to limit the number of our partners to an elite 200. We exist competitively with for-profits who are out there and have enormous resources, multinational corporations with millions of dollars to invest in their online vending programs. We are a nonprofit and competing on numbers with the multinationals is not really an objective for us. And we can grow, we want to grow. We want to double UGotClass registrations and then triple them, but we don't feel we need hundreds and thousands of partners to promote our courses. And so we are going to limit the number of partners to an elite 200 in order to encourage them and at some point mandate that they generate more registrations for us. The market is huge. There's no reason that any of them have a limit to the market out there right now. And so that is what we are going to do, along with a new branding effort that really isn't new, but it's just dawned on us on what our marketing advantage and position is in the marketplace. We have years ago learned from Learn members that our classes, your classes, are superior in quality and education. And we heard that from partners who also carry or advertise for-profit online programs. And so it didn't originate with us, but it has increasingly become clear that we are superior. And so we're going to take that as our new branding effort with those 200 to tap the market for what we need to do. This is important for you to understand. I've repeated that we're a nonprofit. In dollar terms, we're fairly small, but in terms of impact in society, we are huge. UGotClass generates 62% of Learn's income. Learn is the overall nonprofit organization. UGotClass is one of the things that we do. In addition to UGotClass, Learn as an association of nonprofits and a consulting group to those nonprofits gives our colleges, universities, public schools, recreation departments information that will increase their registrations and income to serve their communities. And the data shows, and we have 3 different studies that show this, that Learn increases overall registrations for our members by 10%. What that means is that every year, Learn is generating 300,000 new participants in lifelong learning and continuing education programs for our 500 organizational members throughout North America. And so when you teach with UGotClass, your influence is not just with UGotClass. You are contributing to a nonprofit that is expanding lifelong learning in society. Each one of you drives by community colleges and public schools and recreation departments and universities, and you don't know that your teaching in your class supports those efforts by those nonprofit institutions to serve society. This is a critical time for society. It's a new century when nonprofits are ever more critical and in generating knowledge workers and graduates from college to further our economic prosperity and quality of life. And so I can't emphasize enough what we are grateful for with your excellent teaching and the influence that it has out there. And so I thank you for your contribution, which is not just for those students in your classes, but it also makes a difference in the overall society that goes far beyond the students in your class. Just quickly, we have a new plan to increase our registrations in your classes. We are going to set minimums, a goal for this year, but in 2025, it will be a minimum. And then for those that are well over the minimum, we are creating incentives to generate ever more registrations. Of course, you benefit from this, and so I wanted to make sure you were aware that we are all out on generating increased registrations for UGotClass. And now we end with you. And every education study shows that the primary influence and indicator of learning for every student, whether it be a child, a college student, an adult student, is the teacher. And with you, we have superior teachers, and we have not emphasized that, even known about it enough, but we are going to ask you to do an extended bio Throw at us any information you want. We want to know about your recognition, about being chair of Rotary, about international travel, about your hobbies, anything, because we will do even more to get the word out on the quality of our faculty, because that is the essence of why UGotClass is superior to the other for-profit vendors. We also are active in creating an even better online classroom. We have a state-of-the-art online classroom. I have not seen a better online classroom, but we want to further distance ourselves from other competitors by building in new features into the online classroom. And of course, we will update you and how you can use those new features moving forward. But we have a technology company, it's called Neologics, that runs our system and makes improvements. But of course, nothing happens overnight. Well, almost nothing. And so that we will let you know when that happens. Now, I just reached out to 2 or 3 instructors, one of whom was Betsy Flanagan, and this is not a model. We don't want you to try to replicate Betsy's resume or conjure up what she has. We want you to emphasize just what you are in your authentic self and interests, including hobbies. But this is one that blew me away because I had no idea that Betsy, who teaches with us in computer skills and Excel, is a Fortune 500 consultant, and that she has Silicon Valley clients, that she graduated from Harvard cum laude and has an MBA. That was all new to me. And with each one of you, I'm positive that you're going to tell me new stuff that you are proud of and that you have achieved. I'm Norwegian, so we don't really brag, but we need you to brag when you send me an extended biography, and it doesn't have to be in any formal thing. You can just write down a bunch of sentences and throw it at me. But we will be shoving you out ever more into our publicity and promotion because we are so proud of you and the quality of your instruction. And in the final 2 minutes here, I just want to report a few quick things that partners gave us feedback on. We asked for whether they had a high priority for us to develop digital badges. We have certificates, but many of you know digital badges are a hot thing. And it was of medium priority for our partners. We also polled them on whether they would like us to build in employer group discounts. And an interesting idea that I got from one of our members, an employer express checkout, where they don't have to type in their American Express numbers 20 times, one for each individual. And that ranked a high priority. So we're going to look at that more closely moving forward. And there were no new courses suggested in the Spring Fest, but we will poll people there moving forward.